Y'all, when I tell you God is so good, God is so good. So I have been a Shopify e-commerce store owner for over a year now. A little over a year. Like, I think I created my Shopify store February of last year. Before, as an entrepreneur, a lot of the jobs that I would get would be word of mouth, or like me just talking or doing jobs for the network, the school network that I worked for. That was common. Like, I would get a job because my school needed field day shirts, and I would book myself technically, and I would do the job, whatever. So I wasn't taking my journey seriously. And like, as I say this, it also makes me feel like I need to give myself grace, because I was not giving myself grace. Long story short, I had done a lot of research, ended up going with Shopify as my e-commerce store, and I got all of the different integrations that are needed. I'm a Pinterest girl, honey. Like, when I tell you, if I'm trying to plan a party, I'm using Pinterest. If I'm learning something, I'm using Pinterest. I mean, now I use TikTok and YouTube University, but I know myself, like, I used to go to Pinterest first. If I was looking for an outfit inspo, I was going to Pinterest first, okay? Like, I have a whole board that's like, this is a look, honey, or something like that. Very funny title. I just have fun doing stuff like that. But I created my Shopify store, added all of the different integrations, but for some reason I kept running into a hiccup with Pinterest. Like, you can't this is not working. Like, your information is incomplete. And I'm like, what do you mean my information? Where are you going, sir? I'm like, what do you mean my information is incomplete? Fast forward to me finally mustering up the courage to meet with someone at Pinterest to try to resolve my issue. And we had that call on Monday. And on Monday, if you follow me on my other socials, I have posted how it feels so good when somebody who does not know you compliments your brand. Like, when I tell you imposter syndrome, boy, like, it is so real, it is so valid, it is so overwhelming. That is the feeling. It is just a lot to deal with. So when you get a compliment from somebody who doesn't know you, like, who is willing to support you and they don't know you, it really touches my spirit in a different way. Like, it is very encouraging. But the gentleman was just so kind, and of course he was one of us, and he's just so kind, and he's just like, I have 2 daughters. One is 23, and whenever I know that I'm about to meet with a new client potentially, I have them look at the website with me. So, like, we're giving feedback. Go ahead. We're giving feedback on all accords. He's like, and they looked at your website and it was like, wow, her website's really good. Another thing that touched my heart. I'm like, damn, I put a lot of work into that. That means a lot. And then she found something. He was like, but your bougie brand, like, that's something. Like, that is really something. I think people think bougie and they, like, don't want that stigma. And so initially I came up with bougie baby mama. I am a baby mama. I am also a girlfriend. I am in a relationship. And it's okay to be both. But people have such a negative stigma with being a baby mama, and I think they also have a negative stigma with being bougie, that it meant a lot to put both of these negative stigmas together and create something. People keep telling me, and I hear it all the time, you're trying to change how the world views this thing. And yes, I am trying to change how people view this thing, because you can't always think that a stigma is what's going to stick for forever. We can't let that happen, especially when it's a negative one. I just feel like I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but I feel like there's so much more that can happen and can come out of these beautiful things. Anyway, I say all that to say is I got some really good news as I was wrapping up my work day, and I'm super excited to share with you, but we'll talk about it when we get home. BRB. I'm gonna call y'all back. Make sure you answer, okay? It's a lot of time later. I look very crazy, but I had to come back on here to finish my thought from earlier today when I was in the car. What I was talking about was how I finally have mustered up the courage and enthusiasm to sit down with Pinterest and figure out, because Shopify has a bunch of extensions. When you have an extension, it allows for you to be able to plug and play. If I upload something onto my website, I have accounts with all of these other things like TikTok and Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and whatever other socials or platforms you're on. It allows your products to automatically go there. I had registered and created a merchant account with Pinterest. So you know how when you're scrolling on Pinterest and you see these ads? I wanted to be able to do that. I know that you can make money and grow organically, but I feel like there's also power in being able to not have to manually upload all of my products from my website onto the app. Like, it should automatically feed. And I kept applying. Remember, I started my Shopify account last year, February, and I had been applying since then. I had a notice on my account on Pinterest, and it said, you have one more appeal. After that, like, we're going to shut down your whole thing. And I was like, I'm not going to submit the appeal. Like, I can't do it. I'm nervous. And thankfully I did it. I scheduled a call. The person I scheduled a call with, I think his goal was for me to basically start doing paid advertisements. But that's not in my budget. Like, when I tell you, I'm changing the way that I frame my business. I am not a small business. I'm a startup business. I'm starting. Starting can take anywhere from a year, years. It's all at your own pace. It's no one else's journey but your own. But I'm changing my verbiage. I don't own a small business. I own a startup business at the moment. Anywho, the goal was, because I'm a startup, I don't have the funds to be able to run the $1,000 ad campaign for a month. And I was very transparent with him. Like, I want to be able to do that eventually, but I also know that there's power in just growing organically on Pinterest. Like, when I check my followers, I don't even do anything crazy, but I check my followers and I have 545 followers on Pinterest. And if I can grow that and literally just be on there posting things that I like, that means that there's an audience out there for me, and I'm gonna find my people. I went back and forth. So I had that meeting on Monday. I went back and forth with my person, and he was helping me out. He was sending it, troubleshooting it up for me, because I couldn't understand what they were missing. So the things that they were telling me, I will go and I'll fix it. He'll submit it again. It declined. Finally today, thank you, Jesus. Today it got approved. Oh, I feel goosebumps by saying that. My Pinterest was approved. That is huge. And one thing that I'm doing for myself this year is I'm celebrating all of my wins, whether they're large or super small. Pinterest got approved today. With Pinterest getting approved, I also got my first order from someone that I don't know. So when we talk about God being real and so good, He's so good. I'm so grateful. So excited. I was going to make their order tonight. However, I think I want to go live on TikTok, because that's another goal of mine. Going live on TikTok to grow my brands. Posting on YouTube to grow my brand. I'm just doing anything and trying every avenue to grow my brand, because it's very important to me. You know, like, it's not just about the coin. It's about doing something that I can leave behind to my little one, and also is me tapping into my creative. Like, I've always been hands-on. Like, I remember my godmother had promised me she would take me to the library. Now, my godmother was a baker. She used to love to bake. I loved that she loved to bake, and it made me like baking. So there was one Christmas, I was like, for Christmas, can you get me like cupcake pins, like a pan? Can you get me the stuff to make a cupcake, can make cakes, and I just always been into that. Arts and crafts have always been my thing. So when my friend introduced me to t-shirt making, it's just something that stuck with me. I have the equipment, I have a sublimation machine. I'm teaching myself sublimation, and this week I learned something new about sublimation. I'm excited to, as I go on this journey of decorating my house, to embark on that. It's just, there's just so much out there. So when I think about this brand, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me by far. God, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that I'm gaining my clarity back from postpartum. Your brain, the brain fog, when you're trying to do and juggle a billion things after not being on go or always being on go to being forced to slow down, it does something mentally. I don't care what nobody says, it does something mentally, and that is what I'm coming out of. I'm coming out with a grateful heart, with a present mind, and I just had to hop on here and share that with you guys. I'm gonna record, I think, as I make the shirt tomorrow, my one order. God. Oh, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I just sit here in my moment of gratitude and think about how this morning I was in the shower and I was like, you know, a goal of mine is to have one sale a week. And then this happened. At least one sale a week. Let me be very clear with my words. I want to have at least one sale a week. Then this happened. I got the one sale. And then I'm looking at my flourishing money tree here. And I believe all great things are meant for me. It's gonna happen. All right, I'm done yapping, I think. Until next time, thanks for coming.